Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Kylie from SpeedBets bringing you guys another UFC video. Today we're going to be taking on UFC Fight Night DOLIDZE versus Hernandez. Anthony Fluffy Hernandez coming in against Roman DOLIDZE. This is actually a big challenge for him, but he's priced like it's not. This whole card is insane. We have like one single favorite on this fight that is not minus 200 or more. I mean, this is an insane card. I'm going to be trying to find you guys the best value. I'm going to be trying to make a path for some of these big underdogs to give you guys some exciting picks here. And yeah, let's get right into it, man. If you want to get all the slips I'm running, all the bets and stuff, remember this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you guys to go gamble. But if you are already if you're already planning on gambling, you might as well do it with someone who knows what they're doing, someone who's been killing the UFC this year. Hop in that top link in the description, totally free. Not going to charge you for anything, but I just love to share my work. I like put in a lot of work into this stuff, so even if you're not planning on tailing me, just join in, see what I'm doing. When football comes back, we're going to be taking that on. When hockey comes back, we are going to be murdering hockey again. And it's just a good time. I cannot wait. First up, we have Cody Brundage taking on Eric McConico. Now, everyone, recently Cody Brundage got his last fight overturned to a draw. Basically, the Georgia Athletic Commission said that no partial rounds should be scored in a fight. They had a 1-1 going into the third. Then Cody Brundage gets the draw. He manages to squeak out another fight that doesn't really make sense. I mean, I don't know if Cody Brundage and Abdul Malik had... They told their entire families to bet on the over 1.5 at like plus 200. And I don't know if that was what's going on there. These guys are rich now. Cody Brundage is just fighting for fun again. Like, he already made his money doing that shit. I'm totally being speculative there, but there's no reason why those guys came out in the third round the way they did. I mean, they just didn't fight for 2 rounds, and then the third round started, and they came out like everybody expected them to for the first round. Little bit weird. And then we have Eric McConico over here. This guy, his last fight against Ruzi Boyev, he did what he could. That's a very tough spot to be put in. I feel like for the MMA lab, it's just not been a good year. I mean, I think Jose Delgado is the only guy really winning out of this gym. And Mario Bautista, I should say. But, I mean, we saw like Antoine Ho got clipped on Contender Series, but we're going to be seeing him again. Yeah, Kyler Phillips just got beat up by Vinicius Oliveira, and he lost to Rob Font. Marcus McGee just lost to Petr Yan. Clayton Carpenter lost at the start of the year. Like, it just hasn't been... Alex Caceres, he lost in like that boxing championship. It's just not been a good year for these guys. And I can't say that I'm going to pick Eric McConico to really get in there and mix it up for him. I don't think the striking defense is great. Neither is Cody Brundage. Cody Brundage doesn't really defend strikes at all. He just kind of headbutts into them. But I don't take Eric McConico as this one-shot knockout type of guy like Cody Brundage is going to lose to. Even Abdul Malik was hitting him with some big shots. He wasn't going down. Cuban Missile Crisis landed some bombs. He wasn't going down. I think Cody at this point, and just like, this is a crazy, crazy statement. I think Cody Brundage somehow wants it a little bit more. He was talking about his like daughter and a whole bunch of stuff in the last fight. He sounded really motivated. He came out there and, to his credit, he put on a decent performance. Again, I'm saying he wasn't like fighting until the third round. That's true. But he wasn't, like, he didn't quit. He kind of went out there and did as good as he could do against Abdul Malik. So I'm going to take Cody Brundage here. I think even if he wants to wrestle, that could play here too. I don't think Eric McConico's striking defense and takedown defense are great at all. I think Cody Brundage is just the more well-rounded fighter, the more experienced fighter. And I cannot believe I'm picking Cody Brundage to win a fight in the Big 25. But, yeah, give me Cody Brundage here. I actually don't know if he gets McConico out of there. I think Cody Brundage might get this one done on the cards. We have Gabriel Fernandez taking on Julia Stolyarenko. Now, I'm actually a fan of Julia Stolyarenko. I'm watching her fights back. I thought, like, just kind of forgetting I haven't watched her fight since I don't think I watched the Luana Carolina fight live. It was like the opener for a very mid-fight night. I think it was another Roman DOLIDZE card, so didn't quite get to watch that one live, but I watched it back. And one thing I will say about Julia is that there's no better way to say it. She isn't a pussy. She's not going to go out there and, like, try and dive at your legs. She's going to run forward, get hit, like, 5 times, push you to the cage, and try to take you down. If she can't get the takedown, she's just going to jump the guard, take you down, and she's not like taking you down and putting you in the guard and just sitting there. She's instantly trying to isolate your arm. She's instantly trying to armbar you. You see she has 11 professional wins, 10 of which are by armbar. And they're all different variations. It's crazy. Gabriela Fernandez, on the other hand, wants this fight nowhere near the mat. Like, nowhere near the mat. She came into the UFC, she was kind of like a hyped up prospect. She was actually finishing girls over in LFA. I mean, I think she had like one finish, but yeah, she got a finish for the belt, so a lot of people were hyped up on her. She looked like a good striker, and I will say her striking does play. She is a high level striker. She was kind of getting worked by Kong Wang, but that's going to happen. That's Kong Wang. Then she clipped Kong Wang on the feet, hopped on the back, got the submission. She has a grappling game, but not a get-up game. She gets stuck on bottom. She wants to play jiu-jitsu for too long. If you're sitting on top of her, she's going to be trying to throw triangles instead of trying to get back up. And that kind of was shown in her first two fights, Teresa Bleda and Jasmine Jasudavicius. Those are two tough draws for a striker coming into the UFC. And her get-up game was so abysmal that when she fought Carly Judice, when Carly Judice took her down and Gabriela Fernandez got up once, the commentary team was like aghast at the fact that she was even trying to stand up. I mean, because she just didn't before. She literally didn't even try to stand up. The second she got taken down, that was the end of the round. And that could be a problem here because Julia, like I just said, she isn't a pussy. She's not going to stand at range and lose the decision because she doesn't want to get in there. Against the one of Carolina, she was down. She was basically out for the count. And she's still trying to take chase downs and trying to jump the guard, trying to force the armbar. She had two pretty tight armbar attempts, a tight triangle attempt. She fought a good fight. And Gabriela Fernandez, if she gets taken down, I think we're in trouble. I don't think she has to stuff every single takedown to look minus 400, which is where she's lined right now. And like I just said, Julia Stoliarenko, every single one of her fights besides one is a submission, and it's an armbar. She's also fighting like in Lethwei, which Laura Sanko was talking about in one of her fights. Like they allow headbutts over in Lethwei. Like Julia is not afraid of the action. She's not going to be running away from the fight. Gabriela Fernandez can be beating her up, and she's still going to be plotting forward, trying to land a takedown. So I think this is a dangerous fight for Gabriela. I am going to pick her to win. I think she can get it done by knockout because that's generally how Julia's going to lose. I mean, she's been knocked out 4 times. And it might be a TKO from exhaustion, but Gabriela Fernandez has decent cardio given that she's not getting held down for the whole fight. So yeah, give me Gabriela Fernandez, give me a round 2 TKO. I think Julia might actually get her down in the first round. It's going to be looking a little scary, but I expect Gabriela to bounce back when the fight starts on the feet in a second. Euros Medic taking on Gilbert Urbina. This is one of the fights of all time, and this is the most average fight you've ever seen. I think Medic absolutely sucks, but I think Urbina might just be worse. This guy takes like multiple years off between his fights generally. I just think Medic has a hole in the grappling, but it's only really been exploited by Mitalik Orobai. So you can say that he has bad takedown defense. You could say that he's going to get submitted, but only one guy's done that to him. He just did it so well that he put it in the back of our heads that this guy has no ground game. Gilbert Urbina, to his credit, I think he's supposed to be a grappler. I mean, his wins are kind of diversified between knockout, submission, decision. You don't really know just looking at him what he is. But you watch him strike and you're like, wow, this guy can't be a striker. But then you go back and you watch him fight like Sean Brady and he just gets crushed in the grappling. He just gets half guard camped for the whole fight. He didn't have anything for it. So you don't really know if he's a grappler, maybe because he can't defensively grapple. He's also not really a minute winner. I just generally don't know what Gilbert Urbina is good at. He's only 29, so he should be showing rapid improvements, but I haven't seen it. And he's been out of the cage for over a year. Shocker. He pulled out of a fight for an injury last month. And I mean, his best win is Orion Kosei. I mean, yeah, every time this guy takes a step up to fight a guy who's a little bit better, he just loses. Charles Radke, I think, is probably one of the lower level welterweights. Got knocked out in the first round. Brian Battle, I don't think he's great at all. He got submitted by Brian Battle. Lost to Trayshawn Gore, lost to Sean Brady. I mean, I guess I don't really see a path for Gilbert Urbina to win this fight, but I'm also never going to bet Medic at minus 400. This guy got knocked out by Pillow Hands Punahele Soriano. I mean, do you guys remember the Miguel Baeza fight with Soriano? He had him, like, dead to rights the first minute of the fight, and then landed 300 something. Hold on, let me get this number. 0 knockdowns, 331 total strikes, 144 significant strikes, and 11 minutes of control time. Just pounding this guy away, like on the bottom. Pause. But that fight was crazy, and he couldn't even hurt him. Miguel Baeza looked like he just didn't want to be there, but he didn't get knocked out. He didn't get TKO'd. And then Pillow Hands comes out here and just puts Medi down. So we know that this guy can get out grappled by good grapplers. We know this guy can get knocked out by strikers that I don't even think are good. I mean, with all due respect, I haven't rated Punahele Soriano to be that great of a striker. He even got choked out by Jalen Turner. What are we doing, man? These two guys are incredibly low level. They're literally as low level as they get. I mean, Medic has one fight that's ever seen the third round. So yeah, man, we got one guy you have to think he's going to get it done inside the distance versus Gilbert Urbina. If he's going to win, I mean, Gilbert Urbina has all the paths to victory here. You could submit Medic, you could just counter shot him like Punahele, you could grind him out to a decision, but I don't see Gilbert Urbina being able to do a single one of those things. I guess give me Medic by knockout. Maybe you're going to chase the 1-2 props, given he's only had one fight go past that. Maybe a fight doesn't start round 3. That would probably be like minus 250 though. Maybe you're looking at Medic rounds 1, rounds 2. I think those are the only ways you could possibly play this fight to try and make money. Maybe it doesn't go distance, but yeah, can't do a ton with it. Give me Euros Medic by a round 2 TKO. Next up, we have Jocelyn Edwards taking on Priscilla Cachoeira. How can you not enjoy watching Priscilla Cachoeira fight? This girl has zero regard for herself, doesn't have really a takedown defense yet, doesn't have striking defense, just gets hit and keeps coming forward. You know, you're going to hear a lot of breakdowns this week. I haven't seen a single person even mentioning this. Priscilla Cachoeira is the most recent UFC recipient of a 10-7 round. I have not seen another 10-7 scorecard get posted since. I haven't seen really anything. Even I thought in the Stephen Wynn fight, I thought there was going to be a 10-7 in the Stephen Wynn fight. Not one single 10-7 round was given. Priscilla Cachoeira got 10-7 by Jasmine Jasudavicius, and I believe that was after the Josh Emmett Ilya Topuria one. I mean, this girl, she started the third round in that fight down 20-15. Got 10-8 in the first round, 10-7 in the second. Knocked down, taken down, crucifixed, elbowed. Her face was just leaking blood before Jasmine finally choked her out in the third round. Just a horrific performance. And that was 2 fights ago. That was like a year and a half ago. Then she came in against Jose Annie Nunes and just chin-checked her with that uppercut. And after, you could just tell from a mile away that was going to happen, because that was like the only strike she was really throwing. She was like peppering with other shots, but she just kept firing that uppercut like a missile right down the center. And Nunes is just so tiny and so short that it lands with maximum effect, and it just put her out. But yeah, Priscilla, if Jocelyn wants to strike, she can strike. That's the path of most resistance. Priscilla Cachoeira, she's never been knocked out, but she's absorbing like 7.5 significant strikes per minute in the UFC over like a long sample size. Like, we're going to get to Rafael Cachoeira where he has like 2.5, maybe 3 minutes of fight time, and his numbers are just like insane because of it. Priscilla has like 10 UFC fights, 11 UFC fights, and a lot of them are decisions. And we see this on display. Actually, I take that back. Only 3 of them are decisions. But still, she gets hit a lot. Jocelyn Edwards is actually a good striker. She just put Chelsea Chandler down. Now, Chelsea Chandler is kind of a punching bag, but so is Priscilla Cachoeira. Jocelyn Edwards should be able to just light her up on the feet if she wants to. But I expect her to take the path of least resistance and get the takedowns. But Jocelyn is even high volume when she's controlling from top. That's why she has to get multiple takedowns sometimes. She's not really just going to try to fight for control. She's going to take you down and try to ground and pound you out, to TKO you. Good luck TKOing Priscilla Cachoeira. Like, I wish you the best of luck if you're going to try to do that. Submission's incredibly live. It did take Jasmine about, how many significant strikes? I think Jasmine had to have landed over like 200 significant strikes all on the ground. Not a ton of them were labeled as significant. 93 significant strikes with 326 total strikes. And yeah, Yeah, that was bad. That was a beatdown. Yeah, give me Jocelyn Edwards to win this fight by decision. I think that she's gonna rack up. She's probably gonna end this fight with like 96 strikes, just peppering her on the feet because Jocelyn Edwards is incredibly high volume. Against Chelsea Chandler, she landed like 30 strikes in 2.5 minutes. Priscilla Cachoeira gets hit with over 7.5 per minute, so she's gonna be getting hit. She's gonna be feeling the damage. Jocelyn Edwards might mix in a takedown to make the hands come easier. But I would also like to say, if Jocelyn Edwards wants to only strike with Priscilla Cachoeira, she can get knocked out. Like, it's not impossible to see Jocelyn Edwards knocked out here because Priscilla hits very hard. And this is an unforgiving division. I mean, Priscilla's going to be at like a massive reach disadvantage, and I think they're around the same height. But she hits like a truck. I mean, we just saw Josiane Nunes go out cold. That wasn't like a Chelsea Chandler where she just kind of got knocked down and turned into like the Kelvin Gastelum where you just like fall on your face and you look like a fat baby. It wasn't like that kind of knockdown. It was like a yo, are you good? So yeah, give me Jocelyn Edwards by decision, but be a little careful laying that giant price tag. We have Elijah Smith taking on Toshiyami Kazama. Now, Kazama came out in his last fight like his last name was not Kazama, like it was Hamzat. This guy, instantly the second the bell rang, he ran forward at Charalampos Gregorio, pushed him to the cage, and started chasing takedowns. No glove touch, nothing, no strike, nothing. This guy was all business, straight to the clinch, straight to the takedown. Now, Gregorio absolutely sucks, and he let that happen. I don't think Elijah Smith is going to be getting taken down instantly like that. I think Elijah Smith has a decent enough background. He doesn't have like this elusive, rustling background, but he's like a big athlete. I think he's a football player. He has somewhat takedown defense. He stopped a couple takedowns against Vince Morales. I rate Vince Morales higher than I do Toshiyami Kazama. I mean, even if Kazama does get one takedown, I think Elijah Smith's going to pop right back up. And Toshiyami, there's a reason he doesn't want to strike. It's not like Hamzat where it's like he can strike, it's just not pretty, but it's like the path of least resistance is on the ground. Like, this guy cannot strike. Knocked out in the first round in back-to-back fights to start off his UFC career against Rinya Nakamura in 30 seconds, Garrett Armfield in 4 minutes. When you think of Rinya Nakamura and Garrett Armfield, you don't really think knockout artist. I mean, Rinya Nakamura is racking up knockout wins against probably the worst fighters that UFC's ever seen, like Nathan Fletcher. People were actually picking Nathan Fletcher to beat Rinya Nakamura. I'm not talking with just hindsight. Go back to the video. I said Nathan Fletcher does not belong anywhere near a UFC octagon. I don't understand how on earth anyone could pick Nathan Fletcher there, but whatever, man, whatever. Yeah, and then Fernie Garcia. Yeah, Rinya Nakamura's wins are against literally the worst fighters in the promotion. That's awesome, but yeah, give me Elijah Smith here. This guy isn't some crazy knockout artist. He just isn't. That's not his game. But I think his ground and pound's going to play here. I think even if Toshiyami does get a takedown, Elijah Smith can kind of explode up, either get a reversal going, or he can knock him down. Toshiyami doesn't have a chin. I mean, this guy got hit once by Charalampos Gregorio in the second round after he finally got stood back up. He looked like he didn't want to be there. The second he got hit, he pretty much instantly got dropped. It took like 2 good shots for him to be dropped, and then Gregorio just like dolphin dove right into his guard and just started laying down some damage, couple good elbows. Some refs could have stopped that fight. I mean, Kazama wasn't doing anything, and then Gregorio just gassed out and got triangle choked, I believe. That was a pitiful performance, I'm not going to lie. Gregorio, I'm glad he's gone. That guy beat Cameron Smotherman. Just how bad is Cameron Smotherman? But yeah, Elijah Smith beat Aaron Tao, Vince Morales. I think he's just more well-rounded. His ground and pound should play if the fight goes there, but I don't think it needs to. You don't need crazy power to knock out Toshiyami Kazama. I think Elijah Smith probably gets it done by a first-round knockout. This right here is probably the funniest fight I've ever seen. This is Julius Walker taking on Rafael Cachoeira. And I don't even know where to begin. Rafael came into the UFC as this demo fight league. Now, I don't know if demo fight league, if like cameras are banned, if their guys are fighting with warrants or something. Like, this is the most fraudulent promotion I have ever seen in my entire life of like capping fights, watching fights. I mean, I make so much money like on the side here just betting against demo fight guys that when they sign with another promotion. The last one that got me actually, it was like Jose Alton something. He fought in LFA. I tried fading him and he knocked out some other can. I knew it was a can versus can matchup, but they gave me dog money on the can, so I had to take it. Almost got him there, but Rafael Capoeira. This guy came in against Ibo Aslan. Just stood there, looked like he just crapped his pants and just got beat up to all hell. We'll look at these striking numbers real quick. This guy is getting... Rafael Capoeira, like I was saying earlier, he's absorbing 14.5 significant strikes per minute. Modestas Bukauskas walked this guy down. He made Modestas Bukauskas look like prime Manny Pacquiao in the pocket, beating the shit out of him. This guy is absolutely horrific, one of the worst fighters to ever grace the promotion. And on the other side, we have Julius Juicebox Walker. Man, this guy right here, I have no words. There's a picture in his last fight against Alonzo Menafield where he threw a kick and he fell and he's like upside down like he did a fucking sideways roll because he missed the kick and slipped. Just an absolute goofball matchup here. It is so hard to pick a winner because you want to pick both of them to be losers. And Julius Walker being 0-1 in the UFC with a loss to 40-year-old Alonzo Menafield by decision. This guy is sitting at the ripe minus 600 price tag, a 6-1 favorite who's fought once in the UFC and lost. The guy that Julius Walker beat to get his shot in the UFC, like the last fight he had, is a guy who, let me run you through this guy's last 3 losses. He has a TKO loss to Tyrell Fortune, ground and pound. He's lost to Julius Walker by knockout. And he's a loss to Tuco Tokos by knockout. Dude. I think it was an arm injury, but I don't even give a shit, dude. If Tuco Tokos is finishing you, I'm never picking you to win a fight again. Dude, if I pick him up to pick Rafael Capoeira to win a fight, I'm gonna do it, dude. I found I had to scroll for like 40 minutes to find footage on Rafael Capoeira. You cannot find this guy's fights on the internet. I don't know what kind of monopoly demo fight has on the favelas and their fucking filming. This guy was not easy to find tape on. And at the end of his run in the demo fight, it's like he was bored of 205, so he just started beating the shit out of these fat heavyweights. I mean, this one guy in his last fight, like, at the demo fight 19, I think was his last fight before signing to the UFC. This heavyweight dude just, like, ran at him with his arms wide open like Walter Walker. He's like, where's my hug at? Rafael Capoeira just fired one knee up the middle, and this guy crumbled down. He like got on his side, like on all fours, and Capoeira just loaded up another knee to this guy's like body while he's on the ground, and they just instantly shelled up and got TKO'd. I mean, Capoeira was he was fighting worse than taxi cab drivers, and I don't even know how that's possible. Julius Walker, this guy, he hasn't done anything either. If you're paying minus 600 for Julius Walker, I don't care how bad Capoeira is. That's a horrific, abysmal bet. Give me Rafael Capoeira to win this fight. He actually has some striking talent. He cracked Modestas Bukauskas like 3 times, and Julius Walker might get sent to the canvas if he gets landed on by that. Julius Walker's game is primarily takedowns into ground and pound. I watched as much Capoeira footage as I could. I know he's fighting fighters that are somehow worse than Julius Walker. I didn't see this guy get taken down. I saw him stop takedowns. I saw him work knees in the clinch, reverse clinching. And I saw him effectively, he has a ground game. It's mostly club and sub from what I could tell, but he has a submission game. If Julius Walker, man, this guy's takedown entries are garbage. I'm watching this guy get takedowns and like, how are you not getting choked out right now? Give me Rafael Capoeira to win this fight by TKO in the very first round. That's right, I just picked Rafael to win a fight. Alright, on to the main card we're firing here. We have Eric Anders taking on Christian Leroy Duncan. Christian Leroy Duncan's a fighter that I have a lot of problems with because this guy just doesn't fight. It's not that he's inactive, he just comes into the cage and doesn't fight. I mean, against Andre Puliev, one of the worst fighters I've ever had the misfortune of watching. Last week I gave you guys Nick Klein as my pick, and that pick was looking awesome. First round came out, holy shit, man. And then the second he got kicked in the body once, he didn't want to be a fighter anymore. I don't know. I mean, that was just, oh man. Christian Leroy Duncan against Andre Puliev. The start of every single round, he lands like 2 shots, hurts this guy, and then he instantly just ties him up in the clinch and holds him there until he gets separated by the ref. And then there's 10 seconds left of the fight, and he just finally lets his hands go, and he just beats the shit out of Pulev, almost finishes him in the last 10 seconds. You could have done that in the first round. You could have done that in the first minute. I mean, this guy has had his 2 defeats haunt this guy. I know he has amateur losses. When he was saying, like, when he first lost his O, he's talking like he doesn't feel the pressure that a lot of these other undefeated guys feel because he lost in the amateurs. Against Armen Petrosian, he whiffed on, like, probably 25 spinning hook kicks. Or not hook kicks, spinning wheel kicks. He whiffed on them completely, sucked his gas out, just got beat up by on the feet. He lost to RoboCop, and then he just kind of got manhandled. He got handled like a good little boy. I mean, he got picked up, taken down, beat up on the feet, got covered everywhere that fight went. And now, I don't know if he thinks he's a grappler or something, if he thinks the RoboCop beat him using the clinch a lot, so he needs to use the clinch, but if he wants to come in here and clinch Eric Anders, I think that's the path of most resistance. I mean, again, Christian Leroy Duncan's sitting at like a minus 600 price tag. I mean, for what? If he lets his hands go, he's absolutely going to hurt Eric Anders. Eric Anders got knocked down by Jamie Pickett in the first round. How am I supposed to pick this guy to win a fight? I mean, Eric Anders has been knocked down in the first round of his last 3 fights. I mean, he's 38, got knocked down by the ghost of Chris Weidman, the ghost of Jamie Pickett, and Marc-Andre Barrios. How on earth am I supposed to pick this guy to win a fist fight? I can't. I mean, he's slow. This guy looks like he's punching in slow motion. He's fighting underwater. Christian Leroy Duncan has no excuse to lose this fight. Not a single excuse in the world. He should absolutely knock out Eric Anders in the first round, but he won't. He's going to take this fight to a very close decision. He's going to hurt Eric Anders, and he's going to try and clinch him up. He's going to probably end up winning a 29-28 decision. Extremely underwhelming, but I think it is what it is, you know. Christian Leroy Duncan's not a guy I'm very impressed with. You look at him, he's British. You know offhand, you don't even have to know for a fact. You watch one of his fights and you know that he's British, you know he trains to Leon Edwards. There is zero urgency in this guy's game. But give me CLD to win a decision here, 29-28. Very unimpressive. Here we go, we have Miles Medusa Jones taking on Jin Matsumoto. That's the nickname I've given Miles Johns because of the effect, the days he puts on fighters. He's like a vampire, man. Kind of like a Medusa. You look at this guy and you just freeze. He's like a tiny little midget, but he's somehow the taller fighter in this fight. And you look at this guy and you forget how to fight. I mean, this guy, he just lulls you into this 1-for-1, slow striking exchanges. If you're lucky, you can burst free of his gaze and you can actually land a takedown on him because his takedown defense isn't great. But if you're lucky, Felipe Lima, he broke through that gaze a couple times, got a couple takedowns, he won the fight. But man, Miles Johns almost had him. Not with a knockout, not with a submission, but he almost had him in the gaze, guys. And then we're fighting Douglas Silva de Andrade, a guy who's been pretty exciting. And he just turns into the most pitter-patter 1-for-1 type of fighter I've ever seen. Matsumoto should absolutely have no problem getting takedowns in this fight. But Miles Johns is also a wrestler at base. He should be able to stop some takedowns. Jin Matsumoto's striking, it's high volume, it's high pressure, but it's not really super damaging. I don't recall him even really hurting Brad Katona at all. I know Brad Katona's a tough guy to finish, but you gotta hurt him a little bit. And it's just tough, man. I want to pick Jin Matsumoto because I think he's just slightly better than Miles Johns. I think he has a better career trajectory. He's got the better fights against Rob Font. I thought that he got robbed. I bet on him against Rob Font. But I look at the sports book. This guy's minus 350. Well, what am I supposed to do? I think Miles Johns is going to win a round. I think he will because he's going to get him sucked into that 1-for-1 type of fight. My general rule of thumb, and I encourage you guys to follow this too. It's helped me avoid a lot of traps, a lot of stuff like that. If I'm capping a fight to go to a 29-28 decision, regardless of how confident I am in that 29-28 decision, I will not pay chalk for that guy's money line because all it takes is one judge to see the fight a little bit differently than you do, and you got a split decision. When you got a split decision, I mean, all bets are off, man. You could get the worst robbery you've ever seen. You could go, wow, how is that a split decision? It's just not good. When you leave the fight to the judges, when you don't put a stamp on it, you're asking to get burned. Like, for example, even Petr Yan. I was extremely confident that Petr Yan was going to win the fight. But I knew this guy was going to lose the first round. If I know he's going to lose the first round, I can do a lot of other things. I can take the fight goes to decision. I could take Marcus McGee plus 3.5. I could take Petr Yan to win and round 2 to start. And I can get that money line down to like the minus 160, minus 170 range. You guys don't be parlaying these minus 300, minus 400 fighters when they're going to win a close decision. John Matsumoto is probably going to win a 29-28 decision. I don't think he's going to look minus 300. Same thing with CLD. I think he's going to win a 29-28 decision. But he actually has finishing upside in that fight. If he wants to fight to his own level, which we know he can fight at, he could absolutely finish up Eric Anders. But just don't pay minus 300 for John Matsumoto. I think that's a horrible bet. But yeah, give me him to win 29-28 decision. Now, I hate Christian Rodriguez with all of my heart, so I'm not going to waste too much time giving you guys a super biased breakdown. I'm picking Andre Fili to win. Extremely biased pick. I hate Christian Rodriguez. I want nothing but the worst for him. I think Andre Fili, he's one of those fighters that should lose to Christian Rodriguez. Like, you watch the tape, there's literally no chance that Christian Rodriguez should lose this fight. Like, he has Fili covered everywhere in the grappling. He should take down Andre Fili and probably submit him. Like, that's not, it's not that crazy. Like, okay, whatever. I'll drop the act. Give me Christian Rodriguez to win this fight by submission. I hate him. I want him to lose so badly. I want Andre Fili to knock him out. But yeah, I can't pick Andre Fili. I've seen this guy get submitted too many times. Christian Rodriguez isn't even like a super high-level submission threat. But against Andre Fili, do you really need to be? Now, it is important to note Christian Rodriguez, he doesn't have a win in the UFC over an opponent with more than 2 fights with the promotion. It's interesting. His 2 losses are to Julian Erosa and Melquizael Costa, who both have a lot of experience, a lot of fights. I mean, his 3 losses in the promotion are to Melk Costa, Julian Erosa, and Jonathan Pierce. 3 vets of the game. And then we want to look Joshua Weems. At that point in time, I think he only had 1 fight. Yeah, that was his only fight in the UFC. Raul Rosas, that was one of his first 2 fights. Cameron Simon as well, Dolgarian as well, Bashi. It's like, this guy's taking out the undefeated prospects in their first fights in the UFC. He's preying on their inexperience. He's using his superior cardio and his grappling defense to go against these grapplers. Andre Fili isn't a grappler. He should be able to strike with Christian Rodriguez, but I can't trust Fili to stop a takedown, man. Give me Christian Rodriguez to win this fight by submission, probably in like the 3rd round. He has phenomenal cardio. I think those Christian Rodriguez foot trips are going to play a big part in that as well, because Andre Fili, he has good like takedown defense if you're working for like double legs and stuff against the cage, but Christian Rodriguez, his foot trips he showed against Mel Costa, phenomenal. I hate the guy, but I have to mention that. With Yasmin Lucindo taking on Angela Hill. Angela Hill is 40 and still kicking. She has hands. She's going to make this a fight. Angela Hill has never backed down from a fight before. Yasmin Lucindo, I mean, her last fight was abysmal. And Amanda Lemos showed that she could control Yasmin Lucindo on the ground. And Angela Hill is not going to get takedowns, so I don't see really Angela Hill winning this fight. But if Yasmin Lucindo doesn't want to get takedowns, I mean, she could just lose the striking decision to Angela Hill like everyone has done. I mean, it's tough to beat Angela Hill at her own game, which is volume striking. But you want to go to Angela Hill's record. I mean, she's a victim of the judges. That's the problem, like I was saying earlier, when you leave every fight to decision, no matter how much better or worse than you are than your opponent. You could always get the win, you could always get the loss. Angela Hill, in the last fight, split decision. A lot of people don't even think she won. Let me go back down here. We have, Courtney Casey. We got, where are the other splits here? Split against Amanda Lemos. We have split against Michelle Waterson Gomez. And it's a lot of these fights, you don't even know if she won. You don't even know if she lost. Even if it's not a split decision, a lot of times it's still a little controversial. And I think this fight's going to play out very similar. I think this fight's going to a split decision. Who's going to win? I don't know. Yeah, Yasmin Lucindo to win this fight by split decision. I think her grappling is going to play. I think she is going to land takedowns on Angela Hill. I think she should land takedowns on Angela Hill. If she doesn't, is she throwing or something? I don't know. But yeah, give me Yasmin Lucindo to land takedowns. If Tabitha Ricci's able to take down Angela Hill 3 times, Yasmin Lucindo can as well. And I think she's still super young, super improving. She has a chance to do something in the division. So I'm going to go with the career trajectory here. Steve Erceg taking on Ode Osborne. This is like jumping from a skyscraper to the ground floor in terms of a fall of competition level. Steve Erceg has been fighting the top of the top, and now he gets Ode Osbourne. I understand Ode Osbourne looked good against Louis Garule. Congratulations. I mean, I don't know. Steve Erceg, he's defensively flawed in the striking. He doesn't use his wrestling. I don't know, man. Steve Erceg, he wanted to have the performance of his life against Pantoja. I don't know if he overperformed or if his last fights he's been underperforming. It's hard to say. But he showed he can take down Pantoja. He certainly can take down Ode Osbourne. This guy's takedown defense is horrific. I mean, Steve Erceg could either win this fight by decision. I've seen in the regional scenes over in Eternal, I believe. He has good back takes. He can get to the back. He can submit people. He has all the tools. He's like a wrestling champion over there in Australia. The same credentials Robert Whittaker has. He should be able to take down Ode Osbourne and beat him on the ground decisively. But for whatever reason, I just feel like Steve Erceg is going to take the path of most resistance again. And he's going to strike with Ode Osbourne. And I think that's going to lead to a questionable, hairy decision because Ode hits hard. Ode Osbourne is a bum because you can grapple him. Ode Osbourne is not a bum on the feet. He can get dropped. He can get hurt. We saw that was at Tyson Nam, I believe. I believe it was Tyson Nam where DC was like, he's like, Ode's winning this fight. Ode is winning this fight. And then he gets dropped instantly. I mean, this is not a fight you should be betting on. Maybe bet the overs. Maybe bet, I don't know, man. The under could be a decent play if you think there's going to be a finish. Steve Erceg, he doesn't have knockout power per se because he knocked out Matt Schnell, but he has the submission threat. Ode Osbourne's been submitted by just about everyone. So, yeah, give me Steve Erceg to win this fight. I don't think he's going to do that. Give me him by decision. I think he's going to take the path of most resistance again, and he's going to get it done on the cards. Roman DOLIDZE taking on Anthony Hernandez. Now, in this fight right here, I'm actually going with the dog. Give me Roman DOLIDZE to win this fight. I think Anthony Hernandez is great. I think his pressure is amazing. I don't think Roman DOLIDZE has great cardio either. But Roman DOLIDZE has a lot of intangibles here. He has power. He has the fact that he can grapple with Anthony Hernandez. Roman DOLIDZE has better jiu-jitsu than Anthony Hernandez. A lot of people don't like to hear that. Anthony Hernandez is like, he is phenomenal wrestling, but when he gets to the mat, he seems like a spazzy white belt. I mean, the way this guy is just diving off of positions against Brendan Allen, the way he's able to get reversed so easily against Brendan Allen, reversed, swept everything, it's actually very alarming. You want to look into the Brendan Allen fight, a 3-round fight. Anthony Hernandez got reversed 3 times. We're looking at the Michel Pereira fight, where Michel Pereira was literally out of the fight after the first round because he has no gas. He's still reversing Anthony Hernandez at least once. And then, if you remember anything about the Rodolfo Vieira fight, Anthony Hernandez was getting destroyed early in that fight. Rodolfo Vieira was beating him so bad that he tired himself out. I think Anthony Hernandez is very liable to get swept, to get reversed. Roman DOLIDZE, he has that unorthodox game where he can roll for the legs, he can roll for the calf slicer, he can roll for the heel hook. This guy has all these submissions in his bag, and these are things that he actively seeks out. He's not like a guy where we're talking about he has this high-level jiu-jitsu, but he doesn't do it. Like Rodolfo Vieira has horrible takedowns, and he doesn't really use the leg attacks at all. He's going head and arm triangle every single time. Roman DOLIDZE actually has these tools, and he uses them. We've seen him get leg submissions. We saw it when Jack Hermanson took him down. He got put in the calf slicer, instantly turned around TKO'd. We saw against Phil Hawes, he got his ankle torn to shreds. We've seen this guy get leg submissions before. I think Anthony Hernandez is going to be in a lot of trouble on the ground here. And I think on the feet, Fluffy's striking is horrible. Roman DOLIDZE's striking isn't good either. But at least he has power. I don't think Fluffy's going to be hurting Roman DOLIDZE on the feet. I think Roman DOLIDZE is probably going to hit him once, sting him bad on the feet, like Michel Pereira was beating him up pretty bad in the first round. And then we're just going to see Fluffy shoot takedowns, and he's going to have to play the game of get a takedown without getting submitted, without getting swept, without getting... I just can't see it, man. I can't see a world where Roman DOLIDZE isn't able to do something to stop Anthony Hernandez in his tracks. Whether that's a leg submission that gets really close and then it makes Fluffy want to strike instead of grapple, whether that's he rocks Fluffy on the feet. I just see a lot of paths for Roman DOLIDZE to win this fight, and I think the fact that Anthony Hernandez is minus 300 is crazy, because the only time we saw him fight another guy even close to the level of grappler is Rodolfo Vieira, and he was getting beat up pretty bad before Rodolfo gassed out. I mean, you want to look back, it's Josh Fremd, he's kind of a grappler, not really, he's more of a striker. Marc Andre, striker. Evan Shabazian, striker. Roman Kopylov, striker. Michel Pereira, striker. Brendan Allen, grappler. Brendan Allen reversed him in the first round, put him on bottom, started beating him up. Brendan Allen won the first round, just like we said he would. We cashed the Brendan Allen first round scorecard winner at plus 250. Brendan Allen plus 3.5 at plus 120. And that was another fight where Anthony Hernandez was plus or minus 300, minus 400. And we all knew he was going to win the fight. There wasn't a doubt there. But why are you paying that price for a guy who jumps submissions and gets reversed? Another spot similar to that, give me Roman DOLIDZE. He could probably win the first 2 rounds. Give me Roman DOLIDZE plus 5.5, decision, no action. Whole bunch of stuff like that. We're going to be doing a lot. We're going to be finding the spots. And I'm going to be sending those all out in the Discord. Make sure you join. Top link in the description. All again, all for free. Not charging for bets, not doing any of that stuff. So come see what we're working with. I'm going to be posting a bunch of DFS props as well. If you guys want to see what we have been up to in the past couple weeks here, let me find this. I mean, we hit a slip right here. Here's a bunch of picks I gave out. All this stuff, man. All this stuff. This was in the YouTube video right here. I mean, all these slips right here. I'm just going to put it on the full screen, whatever. Move my camera here. I'm just going to click through all these real fast here, man. We've gotten so many dubs in this. The DFS, we've just been playing all the discounts. That's the way I like to do it. I like to pair all my my picks with the discounts. And here's like 10 more. They just don't stop coming, man. A lot of it is like the same prop because it's $10 maximum on a lot of these discounts, and I'm playing higher units. But even if you're only doing $5 per slip, also again, Kevin Vallejo's under finishes by decision. Phenomenal bet by us. Whole bunch of stuff here, man. I called the Rodolfo Vieira fight pretty much to a T. I called the Kevin Vallejo's fight to a T. Tatsuro Taira fight pretty much to a T. I just said the finish should be a little bit later. I mean, Rebovic's fight to a T. Nakamura fight, I didn't call the knockout, unfortunately, but I mean, it's just, what are you supposed to do, man? Here's even more. Like, it doesn't stop, man. It doesn't stop. This is from last week. You just scroll through again, man. We've been absolutely killing it. Again, sending out my props, sending out everything for free. Whatever, you want to go back to the week before that. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. Jesus Christ. But yeah, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.